And we are back for another episode of Joe's Knows the NFL Draft. I'm Ben Chadwick, joined by Jack Kemmler, Matt Freeman, and Will Kwiatkowski. Guys, we just got to be honest with our viewers. It's been a while since we've done this show. I mean, we got a couple baseball players. The schedules are hard to line up, but we knew we wanted to put out a banger of an episode before the NFL Draft on Thursday night. So here we are, a full first-round mock draft. We all took around 6 or 7 teams. We all have the same amount of picks for the 31 picks in the first round. So just real quick to catch our viewers up, here are the teams each of us will be drafting for. So for Matt, you'll be drafting for the Panthers, the Seahawks, the Bears, Patriots, Steelers, Giants, and Saints. I will be drafting for the Texans, the Lions, the Eagles, the Ravens, and the Cowboys. Jack, you will be drafting for a lot of teams: the Cardinals, the Raiders, the Titans, the Jets, the Buccaneers, Vikings, Bills, and Chiefs. And then Will, you have, of course, the Indianapolis Colts, the Falcons, the Packers, Commanders, Chargers, Jaguars, and Bengals. So I think we are all set for this 2023 Joe Knows NFL mock draft. So Freeman, the first overall pick, Carolina Panthers. I'll kick it off to you.
Yeah, to kick off our draft with the number 1 pick, I'm going to go with the guy I've been on all throughout this football season, this college season, and the offseason. I'm going to take C.J. Stroud with the number 1 pick. I mean, the elite accuracy, we know it's there. I think he's got the best accuracy, best arm in this entire draft. He's got that NFL size that, guys like Bryce Young is lacking that NFL size. Stroud possesses that. Stroud performed extraordinarily well against Georgia in the biggest game of the year, against the best defense he's played in his career. That was when he's played the best all year, I believe. So I really think that Stroud's the right pick here. I think he could be a centerpiece for this Panthers franchise to rebuild around.
Yeah, guys, I mean, if no one else really has a reaction to that pick, I guess I'll chime in here. For me, that's a terrible pick, man. I mean that is just horrific. There's a few things wrong with it for me. Panthers O-line, it's okay. It is getting better. I'll give you that. It's okay. We've never seen C.J. Stroud without an elite O-line. Panthers weapons, on the other hand, I mean, what is going on over? I mean, who is he going to throw to? What is he at? 5 or 6 first-round picks he's been throwing to during his time at Ohio State. I'd rather the Ohio State core of receivers than almost any core in the NFL, especially the Panthers, who might have arguably the worst right now. So, I mean, how do you think he's really going to do in those first few years with such a bad team?
And see, I don't really expect him to burst onto the scene and be like that franchise guy immediately. I don't expect to see incredible production in year one especially, because, like you said, the lack of weapons, that shaky O-line. But at this Panthers team, they're rebuilding. They need a quarterback. So drafting C.J. Stroud, that gives you your quarterback for the future. And then you build around him going forward as C.J. Stroud grows, as he kind of learns with those training wheels on. There's not a lot of pressure on him. It gives him time to develop. So I think it's a good situation, although he won't have weapons like he's had at Ohio State. He won't have elite protection like he's had at Ohio State. I think the fact that there isn't much pressure on him to perform due to the lack of weapons, I think will be good for his development, both mentally and just physically reading the game, reading the NFL defenses.
All right, hey, I'm going to go on to the Texans pick, which is my own right here. I'm going to take the guy that I believe you should have taken, and a lot of other people would agree with me, at number 1. It's the 4'2", whatever he is, phenom out of Alabama, Bryce Young. Bryce Young, I mean, he is an unbelievable playmaker. He is by far the best out of any quarterback in this class, and maybe the best for a few years now. He just makes something out of nothing. He has the 3rd highest passing grade under pressure in the Power 5. He was sacked on 12% of his pressures, which is top 10 in the country. Highest passing grade in the country last season, according to PFF. I mean, this guy is just so good. I think he is perfect for the Texans because the Texans need a guy who can work with nothing. And in my opinion, that's exactly what Bryce Young did with Alabama last year. I'm not going to call it nothing. It's still Freeman. It's still Alabama. All right, it's still Alabama. They still have a good team, but it was a lot worse than what he had the previous year. And he still played, in my opinion, just as good as that 2020-2021 season. So I think Bryce Young is a home run pick here for the Houston Texans.
And I think that's understandable. I see why you are leaning towards Bryce Young over CJ Stroud. But my concerns with Bryce Young, I think if anyone is going to be able to do something, on their own with kind of an empty roster like the Panthers roster, like the Texans roster, I think Bryce Young might be on the bottom of my list if we're looking at the quarterbacks that we have in this draft. I mean, very frail frame, 5'10", 195. I mean, his arm strength, it's average. He's got very good arm talent. He's very good on the fly, but average arm strength, below average in terms of his size. I don't really see how he's going to be a home run pick, especially for a team with little to no weapons. I just feel like he might get crushed out there. I mean, we see Kyler Murray. That's, in my opinion, that's kind of the best scenario you're looking for. I think Bryce Young is a much better passer, but you can see Kyler Murray doesn't kill you with his arm strength, and Bryce Young similarly doesn't have that elite arm strength. I don't think he will play extraordinarily well into the NFL.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, if we were doing a really legacy type of mock draft, I probably would have traded back and then hoped for Caleb Williams or Drake May next year. But I also think consequentially that would get me fired in my first year as the Texans GM for not taking a quarterback with who we working with in Houston right now at QB?
Davis Mills, right?
Davis Mills.
How could I forget the stud Davis Mills?
I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, I would have to take a quarterback, and I think Bryce Young is an easy pick for me. Jack, I'm going to throw it over to you for the number 3 pick. Maybe you'll break our streak of constantly taking quarterbacks, the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely, break this streak. It's just the Cardinals right now are in such disarray. They just hired a new head coach. Kyler Murray still has an ACL injury. J.J. Watt is retired. DeAndre Hopkins, Budda Baker are both wanting to be traded. So this team is in a whole complete disarray. And right now, I think you just need to stick at this 3 pick. There's a lot of talk that they're going to trade back. I just think they stick right here. They take Will Anderson because J.J. Watt just retired. Get somebody on the outside, a huge threat, one of the best players in college football last year. And he's very versatile. He could play outside linebacker. He could play D-end. So I think it's a great pick for the Cardinals just to, start some foundation with their new head coach.
Yeah, and I just want to talk. I think that's the right pick in my eyes. I think Will Anderson might be the best player in this entire draft if we're just looking at strictly talent. But now that I'm thinking about it, you listed off Budda Baker, D-Hop both wanting out, Kyler Murray facing his injury problems. I like the pick going with Will Anderson, but what I would have done if I was in your shoes, I would have traded back. I would have gotten draft capital. I don't think anyone here is going to argue that the Cardinals probably will be one of the worst teams in the NFL next year, which means they will end up being able to select a Caleb Williams, a Drake May, Jordan Travis, a player like that at quarterback next year. So if you trade back, you can get more draft capital. You can build around your potential franchise guy that you could get next year. So that's what I would do if I was the Cardinals, but I really like taking Will Anderson there.
Yeah, I mean, and I feel like they're going to get draft capital from DeAndre Hopkins and Budda Baker. So that could also just, they want to get their star player now and get draft capital later.
I don't think they can go wrong either way, especially with that pick. I love the Will Anderson pick if they do stay at 3. I also agree with Freeman. I think trading back would be a great option for them. Either way, they got to get some young talent over there because, like you said, they're going to be a horrific team unless Kyler Murray can really start to hit that potential, which I'm seriously doubting. Will, I'm going to throw it over to you for the number 4 pick. We're going to try and keep things as calm as possible. We'll see if that is even possible for you with this Colts pick at number 4.
No, I mean, I've been sitting steady in this chair for the past 9 minutes we've been running this. I've been a good boy. But definitely stoked for this pick. I mean, Cardinals are not going to trade back. They're going to let this fall into our lap. We're going to get Anthony Richardson at 4. Will Levis, they're just throwing it up because, every worst-case scenario has happened for the Colts so far. So they have the fallback plan right now in order because usually bad things happen. But for once in a long time, the Colts get their guy. They get Anthony Richardson. And look, AR and Shane Steichen, that's going to be a really solid duo going into it. I mean, I expect them to also draft the rest of the draft well. The Colts have, later picks. But I think, Anthony Richardson, once he pans out, he's going to really, really help that Colts team. And with his legs, I think he could be a pretty solid instant impact.
Yeah, I mean, to be completely honest with you, being, I'm the general manager for the Seahawks. They have the next pick. I was kind of thinking about taking Anthony Richardson as the Seahawks GM just because you signed Geno Smith. I get that, but I think that Anthony Richardson has incredible potential. I think especially him playing behind who would have been my guy Geno Smith. that could have been a recipe for a potential superstar. But so I'm a little mad you took him off the board there, but I really like it. I think his potential it's unlimited. There's no ceiling for him. So I mean, he could be the biggest bust we've seen since Ryan Leaf, but he also could be one of the best quarterbacks we've ever seen.
Yeah, and also, I mean, talk about the Colts drafting quarterbacks and those quarterbacks hitting their potential. We got Peyton Manning.
Andrew Luck.
We got Andrew Luck, who, retired early, but he was incredible right before he retired.
Yeah,
and you got Anthony Richardson, who might have the highest ceiling we've ever seen out of a quarterback prospect ever. So, like, there's some real possibilities. Like Freeman said, yeah, he could be a Ryan Leaf type of guy, but if you get him in the right offense, if the right coaches are with him, and it's a slim chance that happens, that he really reaches the full potential. But if he does, I mean, we're talking top 3 quarterback in the NFL after a few years. And in my opinion, automatically a top 3 rushing quarterback right behind Justin Fields and Lamar Jackson, which I think in and of itself makes him about a top 20 guy rookie year. So I think that is extremely valuable. And I love the pick of Richardson at 4. Freeman, you mentioned that Seattle pick at number 5, so I'll send it to you for the Seahawks pick that they got from the Broncos.
Yeah, with the Seahawks here, I think I'm just going to have to keep it simple and take the guy with the most talent on the board. I'll take Jalen Carter. He was the projected number 1 pick throughout most of this entire draft process, and then he's had some sketchy things going on that's causing him to fall, but I think the talent is clearly there. He is the talent of a number 1 pick. The Seahawks need defensive line help. I think if it fits a need, I think he's one of the most talented guys. He's a steal at number 5. We're talking sheer talent. So I think that's the easy pick here at number 5.
Yeah, I mean, Jalen Carter, in my opinion, the best player in the draft. Yeah, there's the off-field stuff, so that might be why he drops, possibly even out of the top 10 with how people are talking. But if you take all of that away and you just look at the football player, I think Jalen Carter could honestly be or should be the first non-quarterback taken, like he almost was here. Back to Will Anderson at number 3. But yeah, Jalen Carter, in my opinion, one of the best D tackles we've seen in a very long time, maybe since like Quinnen Williams, Gerald McCoy. So yeah, I love this pick to the Seahawks.
Yeah, I mean, well, I just want to touch on it. Chadwick said Jalen Carter is very, very exciting as a D tackle. He's going to be game changing. I think by far the best player in the draft, as Chadwick said. But he's a guy who you put on your line, he really is going to, make a difference. He's gonna need double team, triple team at times. This guy is so good. I think he's probably the best player out of this draft right away, and for time to come.
Yeah, so I'll move it on to the number 6 pick. It was my Lions sitting here at number 6 that they got from the Rams, and it might be a reach. I know a lot of you are probably going to think it's a reach besides for Freeman. I don't know if that gives it away. I'm going to go Jackson Smith and Jigba to the Detroit Lions. I'll just talk a little bit about Smith and Jigba. Didn't see much of him last season, but in 2021, the best receiver in Power 5 with Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave, 1,600 receiving yards. I mean, he was an absolute beast. I think he could do incredible things with this Lions team, who always seems to be kind of contending for the playoffs, if not always contending for the playoffs in these past few years. I love the coach over there in Detroit. I love what they're doing. Jared Goff could really be something good enough over there in Detroit. So I think the Jackson Smith and Jigba pick to give him another weapon is the exact way I would go here.
Yeah, and see, being an Ohio State fan, being a very big Jackson Smith and Jigba advocate, I believe he's the number 1 wide receiver in this class, far and away. My only problem is the fit. I mean, they drafted Jameson Williams last year, who didn't really get to show his stuff. He's going to be healthy this year. Amon-Ra St. Brown being almost like the number 1 comparison, between Jackson Smith and Jigba is Amon-Ra St. Brown. To pair them together, I'm not sure exactly how that will work. I mean, it's going to be an interesting dynamic if this is what were to happen. It's a lot higher than I expected JSN to get off the board, to be completely honest with you. But, I mean, I love him going this high. I think he would work very well in that Lions offense, but it would be interesting to see how they use him and then compared to how they use Amon-Ra like they did last year.
Yeah, I mean, Ben, do you really think this is the right pick? Because the Lions, for almost half the season, were the best offense in the NFL. They ended top 5, and they still have Amon-Ra St. Brown. Jameson Williams will be back in 6 games. Marvin Jones Jr., Josh Reynolds is like the secondary was horrible last year. The D-line was horrible last year for the Lions. Why isn't defense more of a need?
I think just because the defensive talent at this point in the draft, I can't justify taking a defensive player this high. There is one I have in mind. I'm not going to mention him because I'm kind of hoping he falls to me at my next pick. But I still, just the Jackson Smith and Jigba pick, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like wide receiver is the second most valuable position in football, obviously behind quarterback. So I think stocking up on that, getting a guy is going to be an immediate wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3. I know there's some solid guys like Josh Reynolds, but if you can get a guy like Jackson Smith and Jigba, I think it is definitely worth it. I would maybe trade back if I'm the Lions here, but if they don't, I think Smith and Jigba is the pick.
Really quick, and I disagree. I don't hate it. But you said that there's really not much defensive talent that you would go to here. I'm looking at 2 guys who play the same position. We'll touch on them later, who I think are very, very, very deserving of going in the top 10, I think right about now. So I don't think there's a lack of talent. I think that there's plenty of defensive talent that I would have been, happy to see go at number 6 to the Lions. But then again, I don't really hate the fact that you took the best receiver off the board for an offense that could use another receiver.
All right. Hey, we'll see how soon those guys go off the board. We're going to send it over to the number 7 pick, the Las Vegas Raiders. Jack, that's all you.
Yeah, this is going to be a hard pick because it looked like a quarterback for – sorry, I have a call. I got to answer a call. Looks like another GM is calling me.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, it looks like we cannot be involved in this secret conversation here. We'll let them hash it out. But all right, so the Raiders. So what team we're thinking the Packers possibly as one of Will's teams? Oh, Freeman is on mute too. Hold on, Freeman, I got you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
To be completely honest with you, I'm not sure. I think that the glaring guy here is Will Levis being really the only blue chip quarterback prospect that's left on the board. That's the route that they're going, but we'll see right now.
Well,
right.
So the trade has been made very, very quick there. It'll be the Packers first rounder, second rounder, and fifth rounder just for the 7th pick.
Oh my God.
Oh, that
is a lot. Right, so,
I mean, as the Green Bay Packers GM, we see our future starting to come into place. We have, we just received a ton of draft picks from the Jets. I mean, we like where we bounced to. We're at the 13th pick now, and we saw value on the board. We saw a cornerback who's going to be our cornerstone at defense. We're going to have to take him. Devin Witherspoon at the number 7.
I love it. I love it so much, but I hate it because, to be completely honest with you, that's where I was going with the number 9 pick.
Yeah.
I think he might be a top 5 player in this entire draft. I'm so huge on him. I think he's the number 1 corner without a doubt. Like I just said, the top 5 player. I think that's huge, and that's going to be an unstoppable duo to pair next to Jair Alexander. That's really that's a crazy pick. Wow.
So, Will, you think it was that worth it? And Jack, I'll talk to you too about trading back. But Will, you think it was that worth it to move up 6 spots, also give up a 2nd and a 5th just to get Witherspoon?
I think with the talent, with the amount of draft picks we have right now, it's about finding guys who are going to be the cornerstone at different positions. We need to find youth who is going to help lead our organization. Jair aging, we got rid of Rodgers' big contract. We're going to start rebuilding, but we don't want to start from the ground. We're still a very solid organization with some really solid players and still an ability to win. So we want to get the best that we can. So we jumped up. We took it at 7. I mean, Devin Witherspoon, I don't really think there's many players better than him in this draft. And when I saw him on the board still, I knew I had to get him.
All right, and Jack, you're moving back to 13 as the Raiders. So pretty good chance you don't get Will Levis. So what are you thinking there? You're not taking a quarterback this draft?
Yeah, I don't think we're going to take a quarterback. I like our odds right now with Jimmy Garoppolo and our weapons. Our weapons are one of the best in the league, even after trading Darren Waller, who's been very injury prone all year. And the position I'm aiming at right now is very deep. So I think trading back to 13, I'll still get one of the top guys at 13 while, getting a 2nd rounder and a 5th rounder.
All right, so Will, I'm going to keep it here with you. You also have the Falcons obviously not preparing for this trade, but it happened. So Atlanta Falcons, number 8, Will.
Yeah, a little busy.
You got to admit it. You just made a massive blockbuster trade. Take your time.
A lot of
that time is sticking down.
I have a question for you. Mr. Falcons GM, I have a question for you.
Yeah. What's up?
Would you be interested? Would you consider trading back in this situation?
Oh, do we need to go on? We need to go on mute here, gentlemen. What are we doing?
I'm nice and open. Oh, okay.
Okay, all right, keep it open.
If we're going open with it, I'm ready. I'll do the trade. I'm feeling it. I think at the position we're at, we don't really like what we have on the board. I'm down for a trade.
That timer's ticking down, though. Got to make it happen soon. Well,
All right, to be completely honest with you, I like a straight up type of trade. I like something very similar to the same thing you just did with the in the Packers trade, but with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think the Steelers trading up from 17 to snag. Well, I'm not going to tell you who I'm going to get, but the Steelers trading up. I'd offer you my second round pick as well, and then a seventh, I would say, for next year.
Oh,
okay.
Oh.
What do you think
All
about
right. 17. Do you think you kick in a fifth rounder this year?
I could exchange the seventh next year for a fifth rounder this year.
We'll do it. I'll have to go with it. I like the position we're at. We're still not ready.
Let me get a virtual handshake here.
There it is.
All righty.
That's a done deal on my
That
part.
was
That's a
electric.
great trade. That's a great trade.
Great trade.
All right, so Freeman, you are now on the clock.
Yeah, and if I'm on the clock, I'm gonna take who I believe. Oh, this is such a tough pick.
You don't even know who you want.
It's really a toss up between the two. But you know what? I'm really gonna take a guy who I think is one of the most underrated players in this entire draft, and I think he's sitting there. He's gonna be a great addition to this Atlanta Falcons defense. I'm gonna take Nolan Smith from Georgia at number 8.
You mean the Steelers? Steelers defense.
You are the
Oh
Steelers.
yes, excuse me. Yes,
All right, so TJ Watt and Nolan Smith as your edge rushers there.
Oh
Correct.
gosh,
Oh my God. Okay.
it's terrifying. I can't hate it.
You're gonna attack me for boosting up the Lions offense when Freeman's out here taking linebackers for the Steelers.
absolutely. I think
Double side. That's yeah.
We just love to see
Two-headed
powerhouses. That's all it is.
that,
All right.
I think Nolan Smith is a defensive prospect. I can't pass up being the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I believe I'm up right next. I believe I have the number 9 pick, being the
You
Chicago.
are because of the Carolina Panthers. So there you go.
Yeah, and being the
It falls in their lap perfectly.
I believe I'm going to take the second best corner in the entire draft to help out the defense. Yeah, the Chicago Bears allowed the 5th best completion percentage in all of the NFL last year. They were not very good at defending the pass. So I'm going to take Christian Gonzalez. I think another guy who might be a top 6, top 7 player in this entire draft to beef up that Bears defense that needs some help in the secondary.
Okay. All right. So Freeman with the back-to-back picks. A lot going on, a lot more trades than I expected, to be honest with you. Coming into the mock draft, I'm not complaining whatsoever. I got the Eagles now up here at 10. I mean,
I got a mock trade for you, Mr. Chadwick.
Okay. All right, go ahead. We got a lot going on.
This is the Jet standpoint. I'll give you the 15 second rounder next year and 4th rounder next year.
Oh, that's a done deal. Oh my God, that's an easy done deal.
Oh, that's a steal.
Moving down
I
5
think the
6.
Wait. Is it a done deal?
It is a done deal.
You sure you don't want to hear me out?
Jack.
Okay.
There it is. I'm sorry.
That if I can just comment on this really quick, I didn't think we were promoting illegal activity on this podcast. That was an absolute robbery. That was just not fair.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've never said yes to anything quicker in my life. So, Jack, thank you. And as we see,
Can we
right
run
there,
back
New
the
York Jets
trade
are up.
details again?
So I get the 15th pick as the Eagles, and I get this year's second rounder and this year's 4th rounder.
No. Next year's.
Next year's second and 4th?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay. All right. A little bit worse. I'm still not mad at
Okay,
the
that's
trade.
not bad. That's not that bad. That's actually a good trade. That's
I-
Jack has his man on the. I see what you do. Like I said,
You think I might have my man. That man is a little too small, and I don't need him for my tackle position. I need the most actual skill tackle in this draft. As a GM, Joe Douglas, who needs to protect Aaron Rodgers now, quickly talk about that. greatest trade ever. You know, he's going to bring home a Super Bowl for the Jets. Come back to draft night. I think Paris Johnson is the most skilled tackle in this draft if you've watched the film over. And Skoronski is a little too small for that tackle position. And he might be moving to guard, which is not a need in the Jets system. I think Paris Johnson is the safe and best pick right here.
See, I'm with that. And to be honest, with my Steelers, them trading up, it was between Paris Johnson and Nolan Smith. But I went with Nolan just because I think he could be a once-in-a-generation type defensive talent. But I love Paris Johnson. I think he is the number one offensive tackle in this entire draft. What I'm a little bit confused with is you might have had a chance to get him at 15. To be honest, I think you had a chance to either get him or Skoronski. I know Skoronski plays a little bit small for the tackle position, but that's what he did play in college. He played it very well. So if it were me, I wouldn't have traded back. I think you could have gotten one of the two premier guys at 15 without giving up a second and a fourth, I believe. I think that was a bit of an overpay, but I mean, I like who you ended up with.
I think tackle-wise, Titans, Texans, Raiders, and Patriots are all looking at tackles.
I would
consider them.
Titans, I could see. The Raiders. Oh, I mean,
it's all teams that are looking at tackles and interested in them, and I just can't take the risk right there. I just want to get my guy for Aaron Rodgers.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right.
Don't love it.
Like every other trade has gone so far, you also have the very next pick with the Tennessee Titans.
See, this is hard. This is hard because
Oh wow. Okay.
we're at a crossroads because nothing in my body likes Will Levis. And do I think he's gonna, flourish in a Mike Vrabel offense? No, I really don't think so. And I think the best pick for our franchise right now, and we might be bad next year, but the QB class coming in will be a better class to consider. And I'll take Peter Skoronski here. Titans.
Whoa. Okay. So no quarterback over there in Tennessee.
I think it's the right move. I think Will Levis. I don't know if he works in that Titans system. I think the Titans are, to be honest, taking a straight nosedive right now. Derrick Henry seems like he's out. He's going to be out of here pretty soon. That defense shaky. Vrabel does a great job coaching, but you need offensive line. You need weapons. You need a quarterback. You're not going to be successful. I like the philosophy of, build around your potential superstar that you'll get next year.
Okay, so we're going to move it on to the Texans with their second pick of the draft. Of course, I am the Texans GM. Took Bryce Young at number 2. I'm going to throw this out there on the trade block. Anyone trying to jump the Las Vegas Raiders at number 13 to snag that quarterback of their future? I'm just going to throw that out there before I make my pick. No one is biting on Will Levis.
Oh no! I'll consider. I actually will consider it. Yep.
Okay. Well, I'm still going to do my due diligence on who I want to take here. I think I might have my guy.
I mean,
so it's up to you. It's up to you then, Jack.
Oh, this is hard. This team needs. All right.
What's hilarious is you also have the Raiders at number 13, Jack. So you're jumping your own team to grab Will Levis.
Well, of course. I mean, this is all business here.
It's all business.
This is strictly business.
Buccaneers
lost the most accomplished quarterback of all time, and I think who's their quarterback right now?
Kyle Trask.
Yeah. Okay. I will trade the 19, this year's third rounder, and next year's second.
I feel like you're getting fleeced again. Put it there. There it is. Oh my God.
These are normal trades. What do we?
Wow, I think that's a bit of a jump for a guy that you seem pretty reluctant to take in the first place.
Okay, so Jack, let's just go over this real quick. So I am getting the 19th pick this year, the third round pick this year, and the second round pick next year.
The virtual handshake is already.
Oh no. Yeah,
the handshake has been done. I'm just asking you the confirmation here.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay, wow. All right. So, Jack, you are on the clock then, bud.
All right, there's a lot that's happening right now. Well, I'm going to take Will Levis. He could definitely flourish in this offense. He's a very, talented quarterback. Didn't say anything about him before. And I mean, this is the biggest need. Kyle Trask should not be starting for these Buccaneers right now, and they just have to start.
Kyle
with,
Trask
a new.
is starting for the Houston Roughnecks right now.
Yeah, that's the point. I mean, Will Levis definitely has a chance, and if there's a chance, I think the Buccaneers could, flourish him.
Okay, all right. So we're going to move it on, Jack, once again, sticking with you, with the Raiders that you just got from Green Bay earlier. So now who are you taking with your second straight pick? The Raiders no longer can get their quarterback.
Oh, gosh. There's no other good cornerback. I don't like Joey Porter or Deontay Banks. Just going to put that out there.
It would be very high. I'll say that.
Nobody's open to trade? No.
No.
Not in his spot.
Okay. The D-line's too good. I'll take Broderick Jones.
Broderick Jones.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the Las Vegas Raiders going with Broderick Jones. Are you happy with all the trade backs you've done? You traded back from 7 now to 13. Are you happy still getting Broderick Jones, or were you kind of hoping for someone at this 13 spot?
Yeah, I mean, I thought Gonzalez or Witherspoon was gonna, fall in my lap, but it just didn't happen. And the other cornerbacks don't satisfy me, and every other position is. I could have got Kincaid, but it's just not. I don't think it's that big of a need. I think Jones is just will be a big, help to this offensive line.
All right, so Freeman, I'm going to throw it over to you with the 14th overall pick, New England Patriots. Possibly a candidate that could have traded up to number 12 earlier, because who knows what's going on at quarterback over there. Obviously not taking a quarterback here, so where are you going?
Yeah, I'm going to ride with Mac Jones for the time being. And what I'm going to do here, very early on in this draft process, we were looking at Quentin Johnston at this pick, and then I believe his stock has kind of fallen off. I feel like he's been exposed a little bit, his lack of hands. But I'm gonna take Quentin Johnston here at number 14. I'm gonna throw it back to what many people thought would happen earlier on in the year. I'm gonna take him right now. The Patriots are in desperate need of a weapon. He's an absolute specimen. He reminds me of DK Metcalf. I really like him as a prospect. I think the hands definitely need to get better, and that's without a doubt. But I really believe in him as a whole. I think he could be a superstar wide receiver.
All right, so we go from hating on Quentin Johnston, and you're saying that he definitely dropped off on the draft boards, and you're snagging him here at 14?
Yeah, I'm saying in the people's draft board, I believe he's dropped off, but on my draft board, not necessarily.
Okay. All right. So I'll move it on to the 15th pick that the Eagles just moved down to via the New York Jets in our mock draft. Guys, I'm not going to lie. I feel like you can guess who I'm tempted to take here. It would be extraordinarily too high. It would be way too high.
100%.
Oh, gosh.
We've seen him been drafted at 2.
And it was a bad pick. Penn State fan here, and it was a bad pick. Oh, man. Oh, I want to do it so bad.
Wait. You're thinking about taking Porter?
No.
No.
I just want to
talking about years past.
I'm just going to address
sorry. I know what you're talking about again. There you go.
Can I address the elephant in the room? Can I say the
Go for
it. Bijan Robinson. I mean, I'm not on ESPN. This is one of the smartest moves I've ever seen. I think his agent is doing a fantastic job. When he was asked what quarterback he would want to play for in the NFL, his answer immediately was Jalen Hurts. And I think he knows that Jalen Hurts and the Eagles are the highest team that would ever consider drafting him, either at 10, which is their original pick, or 15 here if they trade back. But I just want to say, whoever Bijan Robinson's agent is doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, and man, I'm going to have to answer those prayers. Derrick Henry, I'm sorry. You're going to have to be stuck down there in Tennessee with that poverty team. Find a new super team to go to. I'm taking Bijan Robinson here for the Eagles. Obviously, the best running back. It's not even close. Athleticism, best in the class. Second highest relative athletic score. I mean, I could just go on and on and on. A missed tackle machine, led the country in missed tackles. Third highest yards after contact. an elite receiver. This is the best running back prospect since, and I believe he is better than Saquon Barkley was when he went number 2 overall to the Giants. I know I'm taking him at 15 and I'm saying it's a reach. I think it's because we've all become aware how invaluable running backs are. But, man, this guy is just a home run pick. Another Penn State guy on the Eagles right now, Miles Sanders, who I love. But when you can get a guy like Bijan Robinson, who will be the best running back in the NFL in very, very short amount of time, I think you have to take him. So, yeah, Bijan Robinson is the pick here for me and the Eagles at number 15. I'm going to move it on to Will, another NFC East team, the Washington Commanders at 16.
All right. Does anybody want to trade? I'll put it on the board, and the trade is going out.
I like where
I'm sitting pretty. I'm sitting
Wait. I'm getting a call right now. Oh, my God. It's my own LA Chargers calling me.
Will actually. Okay.
I will be making a trade with the Los Angeles Chargers. We have to figure out the details, the GM and I.
We got to hear the details before this is confirmed.
Yeah, just so we know you're not just like favoring one team over another right now.
All right, the Washington Commanders are going to be trading back with LA and receiving their number 2.
Is this official or is this
official? This is official. They're going to be receiving LA's number 2 and next year's 7th.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
And they're moving up 5 spots.
Okay.
All right. That's fair. That's a fair trade.
Wait, do the Commanders get the 21?
Yes.
Okay.
And this is a done deal. I cannot offer anything. This is a done deal.
Will, you got to do it, bud. There it is.
Oh.
All right. Now,
for those who were curious, my thought process there was moving up with the Giants, but keeping the Giants' original first-round pick to try to get a weapon. That was my thought process there. Obviously, it didn't pan out. But
not bad. All right. Well, yeah. I had to make a move. I mean, in my head, this has got to be the best idea. I mean, the Chargers need offensive weapons around Justin Herbert. They need someone who could really play ball. They need Dalton Kincaid, absolute monster. This guy is going to be so good for the Chargers. He's going to turn their offense around for sure. I mean, my Chargers are going to be great now. I love this pick. I mean, you guys could say whatever you guys want to say, but I mean, Dalton Kincaid.
I'll help you out with the reasoning here. Well, I mean, Kincaid is just a big receiver. And that is just awesome for the Chargers to have. He's great in traffic, like I said, just a big receiver. He's also a solid blocker. He's not the greatest, but man, I think this is a home run pick here. I was about to take him with pretty much whatever team I had up next. So yeah, I think Dalton Kincaid out of Utah. That's an awesome pick.
Had to do it.
All right, we're gonna move on to the Atlanta Falcons, who, let me just do some backtracking here, is still Will, because Will traded all the way back with the Pittsburgh Steelers. That was Freeman and Will's trade. So, Will, keeping it here with you, number 17, Atlanta.
All right, I'm going to have to run through my coaches, see what they think.
Okay.
There's a lot going on in all of Will's offices right now. We got to give him some space.
Offices are busy today.
So, yeah, Jack and Freeman, I guess I'll ask you guys this question. How do we think the mock draft is going so far? It's been very, very hectic. So do we think we would have liked it to be a little less hectic, or are we perfectly fine with this?
I think this is how draft day works. So I think it's an accurate representation of how it's actually going to work on Thursday. Just looking at the picks overall, I really like how everything's going. I think personally, I'm still flipping back and forth between getting Nolan Smith. I'm a huge believer in Nolan Smith. I think he is a generational player. I think he's that good. I think we didn't really get to see much of him due to his injury last year at Georgia, but I think he is that good. That's why I needed to go up and trade for him. But I mean, I'm flipping back and forth. If I address team needs, if I place that above everything, then Paris Johnson would have been the pick there, or at least Skoronski, an offensive tackle. But I'm a little bit 50-50 on if I make a decision or not, but I'm still very happy having Nolan Smith on my team.
I'll be honest, I'm the same way with that Smith and Jigba pick at 6. I'm really thinking I should have gone Witherspoon. So, Jack, before Will makes his pick here, any picks you're really proud of, or some that you might have wanted to go back and redo?
Whoa! I mean, I think this is a total shot at me. That question there.
Well,
I'm not proud. I'm not proud of the
Levis.
I'm not proud of the Levis pick. You know, I'm not the most proud of it. But you know, right now, this draft class is not the greatest. I think right about at this point, with maybe one more player, these are like true first round players. Like this draft class is going to go down as not one of it's not one of the brightest. So with all these trades, it's making sense because these teams are scrambling to get their guy. I think that's why all these trades are happening.
All right, so Will, timer is ticking down. Where are we going with this Falcons pick?
So the Falcons, they ranked worst in sack percentage last year, 22nd in rushing yards allowed per game. They need an edge rusher / D lineman, and why not get a guy who does it both? A guy who's gonna get you those sacks and who's gonna stuff the run game like a professional. Kalijah Kancey, definitely missaid his name, but I mean, this is a guy who's going to do both. He's going to do both. He's going to get you the sacks. He's going to be all over the quarterback. He's quick. He's powerful. He does it all. This guy, I think, is so underrated. I'm so happy I was able to grab him at 17. I think the Falcons made a great move, being able to move back, get draft capital, and still land this guy. I mean, we were looking at getting Christian Gonzalez. I think this guy's even better than Christian Gonzalez. I love this pick. I'm so happy with the team matching with Grady Jarrett. We still do need that edge rusher, but we're looking pretty good.
Yeah, I think this is who I was talking about, the one more true first rounder. I believe this is a true first rounder right here. And this is all off combine. Not all off combine, but most of it is off combine. And his combine was unreal. It's one of the best as a D lineman ever in the whole draft. And he had a very good season. So I just think his explosiveness is just going to add a lot more, power to this Falcons defense, which is lacking.
Yeah, and guys, obviously a Pitt interior D lineman, that's a really good prospect. You're going to obviously get some people talking, is this guy Aaron Donald? No, he will never become Aaron Donald. But he is a very watered-down version of him, which is still an extreme compliment to Kalijah Kancey. He is great at the rush defense, just stuffing the holes in the O-line, as well as a incredible pass rusher, especially as a D lineman. Like Jack said, the explosiveness he has off the jump, off the snap is just incredible. I'm going to be honest, I'm kind of hoping for this guy at 26 with the Cowboys in the real NFL draft. Was hoping for him in this mock draft. Obviously, we're 9 picks away, so not giving me the greatest vibe for what's going to go down Thursday night. But, yeah, Will, in my opinion, I think this is an awesome pick for the Falcons. Still got Grady Jarrett over there, too, so that should be a pretty fun duo in Atlanta. Next up is the Detroit Lions. So this is myself, a lot going on. Just got to get a bit caught up here with the Lions. I think it's a pretty easy pick. It would have been Kalijah Kancey immediately. I got Jackson Smith and Jigba, so I'm not too worried about receiver. I'm going to go Michael Mayer out of Notre Dame, the tight end. I love Mayer. He is my second best tight end in the draft behind Kincaid, but I think they're very, very close. He is just a massive dude. He's an incredible blocker. Still a very solid tight end in the receiving game. I love the way he blocks. He'll be an average receiver, but arguably one of the best blockers in the NFL if he's able to hit his potential at that tight end position. So I think adding on some run and maybe even a little bit pass blocking here with the tight end position, as well as yet another weapon for Jared Goff to utilize in the 2023 season. So I'm going with Michael Mayer here at 18.
And I really like Michael Mayer as a prospect. My only issue is, you captaining the Lions here, taking a Jigba at 6 and Mayer, here at 18. I just think it's too much offense for a team that struggled mightily defensively last year. So that would be my only critique. I would just say I'm looking for a little bit more defense tomorrow night, Thursday night, during the draft. But, I like both Njigba and now Mayer as prospects. I think they would be great with the Lions. My only problem is I think that addressing the defense would be something that I would do if I were the Lions GM.
Hey, maybe we look to free agency, Freeman. I'm not done in this offseason, all right? It's one night. Let's chill out there. All right, we'll move it on to the 19th pick. Once again, sticking with me. Every time we trade back, it seems like the person always has back-to-back picks. So the Houston Texans here. There's a lot of ways I can go. Man, I would have loved Kalijah Kancey here once again. You know what? This also might be a reach, but I do love this guy, especially when he played at Pitt. No, it's not Kalijah Kancey. It's the guy that transferred to USC and will now be a Houston Texan. I'm taking Jordan Addison, another offensive player I'm going with right here. Arguably the best route runner in the class. I would put him second behind JSN. I think he played extremely, extremely well in 2021, won the Biletnikoff. So obviously a very good receiver, 1,600 yards, very good route runner, like I said. And I think, once again, you put him with a quarterback like Bryce Young. That's going to be very fun in Houston. And I think he thrives immediately. He had Kenny Pickett at Pitt, and he was incredible with him. Now he's got Bryce Young. So, yeah, give me Jordan Addison here at 19 with the Texans after they trade back.
I mean, I like the idea of taking a weapon for Bryce Young. I just think you took the wrong one, to be completely honest with you. I'm not going to comment on it, but I just think you took the wrong weapon.
All right, so you think what are we thinking? A receiver, a different receiver here?
That's what I'm thinking.
I don't like him. I'm not, once again, won't mention his name. We'll wait till he's taken in this first round. I just don't like him more. I mean, we went over in the positional rankings. Jordan Addison's my number 3 guy for wide receivers. So, yeah, I mean, well, I'm not gonna say it, but he definitely could be better. I think it is close between those two guys after the top 2. Yeah, I love Addison here. I think the combo with him and Bryce Young could be really fun. I understand what you're saying, though. There's a lot of other guys I could have taken, too. We mentioned Joey Porter before. I think there's still some really, really solid players left in this draft, so it should be fun to see how these final 11 picks go. Let's keep it moving over to the Seahawks. Freeman, I'll throw it over to you. The 20th overall pick. Uh-oh.
Excuse me 1 second.
No, take your time.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, no one's calling.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I'm going to be trading with 2 of the teams that I have ownership of. I'm going to make a trade.
I will call them.
I'm going to make a trade. No, I was on the phone with the GM of the Giants.
Okay.
Here, he's a good-looking guy.
Okay.
I'm going to make a trade between those 2. And you can veto the trade if you'd like. I just want to make sure this is even. I'm going to have a first-round pick swap, meaning the Giants jump to 20, the Seahawks drop back to 25.
Okay.
And the Giants going to kick in a third-rounder for this year.
Okay, I feel like, man.
The guy I want for the
Seahawks. I think it's fair.
The Seahawks will be around 5 picks later.
It's pretty far. It's pretty far in the draft. That is fair.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm gonna let it go through.
Let it go through. We don't want him to add on a 7th or something like that. We just want him to go straight through.
It's a 7th to 7th.
It's pretty significant. 7th.
Okay. 7th. All right. So the 1st and the 3rd for the Giants to move up to 20. So Freeman, do you know who you want, or you still got to look around?
I absolutely know who I want. Right here, I'm going to take who I believe is the 3rd best receiver in this class. I think he has an extremely high ceiling. I think my comparison for him would be a little bit of Tyreek Hill without as good of the speed, obviously. I think the playmaking is there, almost like a Curtis Samuel. I'm going to take Zay Jones. I think he's absolutely one of the best weapons in this class. The Giants are desperate for wide receivers to give to Daniel Jones, who they just paid the entire Bank of New York City to. I'm not really sure why, but being the Giants GM, we have Daniel Jones. We need weapons. That was the biggest problem last year. So I'm going to take Zay. He's the best guy on the board, I believe.
All right, you guys already know my opinion on Zay Flowers, so I'll let you take it away for what you think about this pick.
I think he's the 2nd best receiver in this draft. I think he is better than Johnston and Addison. It's just all around playmaking wise for that Boston College team, he was getting thrown by a very bad quarterback, was one of the best receivers in college football. So I just think this pick is amazing, especially for the Giants moving up. This is a great trade. Great trade.
Thank you. And at least my philosophy being a GM, looking at Zay Flowers and his perseverance and his dedication to Boston College, the university, the coaches, his teammates. He had a lot of big NIL deals that would have been waiting for him if he transferred to a bigger school. He could have been competing for a national championship. He could have had a high-level quarterback throwing the ball to him, but he decided to stay home, stay at Boston College. That's where he started his career. That's where he wants to finish. So I give him his props for that, and to me, that just makes him a guy I'm even more eager to draft. So I can't wait to add him to this Giants team.
Obviously, I feel like Zay is the wide receiver 4, but I love adding another weapon for the Giants. I would love a tight end here. Obviously, the top 2 are taken, and there's no one really worth it after that. So, yeah, I think Zay Flowers honestly might have even been my pick, even with how I feel about him at number 20. I think that is an awesome pick. Trade, still a bit skeptical. We got to talk to both GMs, see what happened there. But no, I think this is a great pick for the Giants. So, Will, you move back with the Chargers, also your own team, back to 21. So the Washington Commanders are up at number 21.
Now, some call me Will Kwiatkowski. Others call me a wizard. All right?
Okay.
Now, I don't know if you realized how much of a GOAT I am, but I just moved myself back 5 picks, and now I get Osiris Torrance. I mean, an amazing offensive guard in the class. I'm going to throw him in my O-line, and no, he's better than DeJuan Jones III, whatever his name is. I'm going to throw him in my O-line, and, man, Sam Howell is going to look like Patty Mahomes, all right? He is our future. Sam Howell, we're signing him. This is getting leaked early, but we're signing him to an 18-year, $300 billion contract because he is going to be the next Patty Mahomes.
Bless you, and that's a devastating blow for me. We
wanted interior O-line. We wanted interior.
I wanted interior O-line for the Seahawks. I traded back to 25 with the Giants because I believed I could get him comfortably at 25. Clearly not. That is a killer.
I told you they call me a wizard.
I really love the pick though. I think Torrance
I thought you were mad right off the bat.
Oh, absolutely not. I think Torrance is far and away the best interior lineman in this class. I think he might be the best lineman in this class, period. It's a bit bold, I know, but I love Osiris Torrance. Oh, what a killer.
All right. We'll keep it moving on to number 22 here. My Baltimore Ravens. And you got a trade offer, Jack? What are we doing?
I might have a trade offer. It's gonna be quick.
I'm pretty dead set on who I want here, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, all right. Then I gotta move you. All right. This is from the Cardinals, so who don't have a first rounder.
Okay.
This is DeAndre Hopkins.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, this is DeAndre Hopkins.
Oh my God. Okay.
And this is Budda Baker. This is both. For that first rounder, the next year first rounder.
Oh.
And this year's third.
So I'm giving up this year's first, next year's first, this year's third?
Yeah.
No.
For Baker and
Hopkins.
That's
way
too much. I'm not giving up 2 firsts. I'm not giving up 2 firsts for those guys.
Terrible.
I mean, one of the throwing Budda Baker on the team with potentially Lamar Jackson and Odell Beckham.
That's a bad trade, though.
I don't know if I could do that, man. I'm fine with giving you this first. I'm fine with giving you a mid-round pick, like the 3rd round pick. Man, that's a lot after that, though, man. Another first rounder on top of it.
That'll be my only offer. So
wait, who's at number 23? Who's the 23 pick?
Me.
That's Jack with the Vikings. Yeah, Jack. I'm gonna have to. If that's your only offer, and can I even counter it or not?
I'll listen to a counter.
I would say the 22 overall pick, and I'd say this year's 2nd rounder.
No deal. No, I mean this is DeAndre Hopkins and Budda Baker.
All right, if that's the way you feel, it started off real hot when you said Budda Baker and DeAndre Hopkins, and then you had me giving up 2 first rounders. So I'm gonna stay with this pick. The guy I said I was dead set on, I'm going to be able to take him here, despite possibly having 2 incredible pieces to add that are already in their prime. I'm going to get Joey Porter Jr. out of Penn State. Yes, the son of Joey Porter Sr., an all-pro edge defender that played for the Steelers not too long ago. Joey Porter Jr. has some incredible measurables. He has a massive, massive wingspan, He's just a ball hawk all around. He was terrorizing Big Ten offenses, not exactly Ohio State. That's a different story. Let's not talk about that. He was terrorizing everyone else's offense in the Big Ten. He was just shutting down guys. He doesn't remind me of Trayvon Diggs, but he has the playmaking ability of Trayvon Diggs with possibly better coverage skills, which, again, isn't saying a lot. But, yeah, I'm going to go Joey Porter Jr. here at number 22 for the Baltimore Ravens.
So I like the idea of taking a corner. I think that there's a better corner on the board. Me personally, I'm not a very big fan of Joey Porter Jr. He reminds me a little bit of Quentin Johnston in the fact that he was a beast at the combine. Physically, he's a beast. But wide receiver, you don't really have there's less restriction on you. As a cornerback, you need to be fluid. You need to be precise with your hands, or else you're going to get flagged and you're going to be a liability defensively. So that's why I like Johnston as a guy, just a freak athlete that you can throw in the NFL. We see DK Metcalf. He's turning out great. I just don't love that in a corner. I think that he got a little handsy once he saw NFL level talent like Egbuka, Marvin Harrison. So I don't know. I like the idea. Me personally, I'm just not high on Joey Porter Jr.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, once again, a shocker. Freeman hates my pick, so we'll keep it moving on to 23. We'll keep moving on to 23. Jack, like I mentioned before, you have the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, I do have the Minnesota Vikings. This team was just held back by their defense last year. Their offense was amazing. Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook, the tight end I'm just forgetting about right now that they traded for. Hawkinson was all very good last year, and I think they need defense. So it's a hard pick here, but I can't let this guy slide anymore. He's mocked in top 10 everywhere. So I will take Tyree Wilson at 23.
All right, I'm fine with it, to be honest.
I think it's very fair. I think big sites, big recruiting, big companies that are covering recruiting are way too high on this guy. Super raw. I mean, physical specimen, super raw. I don't see really any sort of bag of pass rushing moves, but like I agree. I think he slid way too far.
Yeah, the most overrated prospect right now in the draft, in my opinion. But yeah, 23 is still a great spot for him. It's where I would have liked to have him before everyone started saying, oh, top 10, maybe top 5. Is Will Anderson even better than him, which is outrageous. But I love the pick here at 23. We'll keep it moving. Will, you are up next. The Jacksonville Jaguars really, really turning things around. Said goodbye to Urban Meyer, and now they're actually a winning football team. Shocker. Never thought I'd see that in my lifetime. So number 24 overall, Jacksonville.
Ben,
really,
don't want to. We don't want to forget that this is Will's team because he chose them to go to the Super Bowl. Like we pre-playoffs though.
That is true. Weren't you supposed to get a buzz cut or something like that, Will? Was that supposed to happen? Or?
I didn't shake on that.
He's right. All right. No,
all right. Whatever. This is a tough pick. So my Jaguars, very poor in the passing game, very poor in the sack percentage. I mean, 27th in the league, I believe 23rd in the league in passing yards allowed. On the rushing side, we're very good. So, I want to look at the edge rushers, the safeties. I also am looking at tackles. I mean, we have a lot on the board here. I like a lot of the guys. Not a big fan of the edge rushers. Jack, you actually did steal my pick right out of my hands. I hate to break it to you. So, really good there. But, I feel like a guy who kind of encapsulates everything that my team is missing. I feel like it is Brian Branch. I mean, this might be a bit obscure, but this guy flies on the field. He takes care of a lot of things, and a defense that has a good amount of holes. I mean, to bring him in, it's going to be great. I mean, this Jacksonville Jaguars defense, not very talented, but they fly. They got a lot of really quick guys. They keep up with teams. They play quick. They're very young. And I mean, Brian Branch fits in so perfectly. I expect him in the backfield every once in a while, getting some sacks. I mean, he's a do-it-all guy. And I think he's going to lock up the secondary pretty well. I mean, I think he's our guy.
I love that. I mean, nowadays with DBs in the modern NFL, you don't really see great tacklers, but I think Brian Branch is an excellent tackler at that safety position. So it's really cool to see a physical type of DB back in the NFL. So I love the pick here at 24. We'll move on to number 25, the Seattle Seahawks. So Matt, you traded back with your own team, the New York Giants. Now you're at 25. Who are you going with?
There were two guys I wanted as I was trading back. Number one being Osiris Torrance. Obviously, he is off the board, but I'm still very happy landing Deonte Banks on my squad. I believe he's the cornerback 3 in this entire draft. I'm super happy with him. Pairing him with Woolen is going to be scary. Very athletic, very young corners. I really like that. To round out my defense, throwing Carter and throwing Deonte Banks in there is really going to rejuvenate the Seahawks defense and putting it together to be potentially elite in the next couple of years, like it was with the Legion of Boom.
Yeah, so I mean, oh god, that was my Cowboys were up at 26, man. That was the pick. This is a worst case scenario if this happens Thursday night for the Cowboys, in my opinion. I don't like anyone on the board right now. Oh gosh.
Are we open to trades?
I'm very open to trades.
Yeah, I have one for you.
Okay, all right.
I have one.
Go for it. I would be interested in players. We're a very win now team, even though we won't.
You are.
I'm in on this trade now.
Oh, Arizona.
I mean,
next 17 first rounders for Buda Baker and DeAndre Hopkins.
There you go.
All right, what are we thinking, Freeman?
As the Pittsburgh Steelers GM, I would be very interested in moving next year's second rounder and this year's fourth rounder for this pick right now.
Well, I got a new pick.
New trade?
New trade.
Okay, well.
As the proud GM of the Jaguars.
Okay.
This year's second round, this year's fourth round, and this year's sixth round.
Why not?
I'll give you that, but instead of the sixth, I'll give you this year's fifth rounder.
I'll kick in another 6 on top of it.
Jackie, I mean, you want to get in on this?
No, I mean this sounds
like I said, I'm still very interested in players. If that is on anyone's mind.
You like Buda Baker?
I wouldn't mind.
It's gonna be a big, asking. So I think you should just stick with those. I'm not gonna give you a better offer than those two.
How would you feel? How would you feel about Deontay Johnson and a third rounder?
Oh.
Don't we're still talking on this side too. Don't
Hey, I got a quick trigger. Okay, I'll be very quick to pull this offer off the table. It's time to go.
Well, my hand is like nearing the shake right now, man.
All right, come
on.
All right.
Got a player to throw in?
I got
way better picks.
Come on, let's go.
I got a second. All right, let me see your team needs real quick.
Oh, come on, you're on the clock right now.
Oh, it's the Cowboys, man. I gotta make this pick.
All right, okay. I got you with a second round. This year's second round, third round, sixth round.
Oh.
This year's second round from Jacksonville?
Yes, this year's second, third, and sixth from Jacksonville.
Am I wrong? Is that the 32nd pick?
No. No, it's like the 56th.
Oh. Come on.
Wait. Sorry.
5 seconds.
Second,
5,
third,
4, 3.
Second, third, 2 6.
All right, Freeman.
Whoa, second, third, 2 6.
Let's go.
What did we all right, it's a done deal. What did you just offer?
He said
second,
third.
2 6.
Oh God. Freeman, that countdown was brutal, but it got you the done deal, bro.
Yes, that's just the tactics I like to use as a Steelers GM.
All right, so Deontay Johnson and a third-round pick are headed over to the Dallas Cowboys. They will not be making a first-round pick. Instead, the Pittsburgh Steelers will once again be on the clock. So there we go. Okay, so who are we going with here at 26?
So as the Steelers GM, I traded up. I took Nolan Smith, who I believe is one of the best players in this entire draft. But now I hear the fans in Pittsburgh calling for my head. I understand we need to protect our quarterback, and I understand that. And because of that, I'm going to take Darnell Wright from Tennessee, who I think is the best tackle remaining on the board. I don't think we gave up too much. Deontay Johnson, I don't really like the way he's fitting. We have some younger weapons that we need to develop. I really think that the pass protection is very necessary. I don't think the Cowboys have any business making a pick there, so I think it was an easy target. But Yeah, I feel very happy as a Steelers GM coming away from this first round with one of the best players in this entire draft, I believe, Nolan Smith, and then getting Darnell Wright to protect Kenny Pickett.
And that is a big dude. 6'5", 333 pounds in Darnell Wright. Obviously very powerful. And I mean, Steelers, I feel like that's been their need for the past 20 years, has always been offensive line. So, all right, we'll see if this one pans out for Pittsburgh as they trade up with the Cowboys, but also give up Deontay Johnson. Now we'll move on to number 27, the Buffalo Bills. Jack.
I'll start off that I'm open to trades with this.
Yep, I'm back on the clock.
Okay, here we go.
Jaguars. All right, let me look at something real quick. I gotta look at something. One thing. My boss is calling me, even though I'm the boss. Okay.
Well, this is the Jaguars trying to trade up to 27?
Yeah.
I'd be interested with the Colts trading up to 27. So with that 35 spot in the second round, I would like that.
All right, the Colts are gonna trade up.
Okay.
All right.
Colts actually jumped them. 35 for the 27. So I'm gonna give you 35. I'm gonna give you the 1, a 4, and a 6.
A 1?
Wait, what?
Oh, sorry. My second round, a 4 and a 6.
All this year?
All this year.
That's a done deal.
Okay.
Wow.
And
Okay.
you know what else? And you know what else is a done deal?
What?
DeJuan Jones.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
I love it. I mean, Colts needed to address the offensive line. Getting a very talented tackle to guard Anthony Richardson. I mean, it's a dream for us.
All right. So DeJuan
I did want to add that I was doing that because I think the Bills need a halfback. That's just what's going to get them over the hump, that they can knock it to the Super Bowl. And right now, Jahmyr Gibbs, I think, is going to fall, or if somebody else does, if somebody picks him, which will be crazy. So I don't think I need to draft him right now. I think I could wait.
All right. Very, very fair. We'll move on to number 28. Will, you're right back on the clock with the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, there's a couple guys I'm looking at. I mean, there's some guys who posted some seasons I like. We're looking at DBs. I'm looking at corners a little bit. But man, this is gonna be tough. This is definitely a tough one. A lot of good players on the board. I want to go defense. I want to be able to lock it up. I don't know, but it's calling my name.
Where are we going here, Will?
Yeah.
I think he's calling my name. We're going to give it a little bit of a reach job, but it's got to be happening. Darnell Washington. Getting the tight end.
Georgia.
We needed a tight end. Give me another weapon for Joe Burrow. This offense is going to set records this year.
Yeah, I just think Joe Burrow might be having a party right now. His ability to block and then obviously just a mismatch nightmare. Seeing a guy that's 6'6", specimen, jumping over linebacker, come on. That's going to be ridiculous to add to that already lethal passing attack that the Bengals had. That's a crazy pick.
Yeah,
I think Darnell Washington is kind of like the Anthony Richardson of this tight end class. You got the two very refined guys in the top two, and then you got Darnell Washington, who could be insanely good. And with this Bengals offense, it's not like they're going to be double teaming them. So, man, that is a very fun pick there for Cincinnati and Joe Burrow specifically.
Yeah, and they just lost their past tight end, so this is a good pick. They have Irv Smith Jr. now, who's not the greatest. But it's just a question, Will. I think the thing that, keeps coming up these past 2 seasons with the Bengals is the O-line. Anton Harrison is still there. Very good tackle. Why not him?
That's what I was looking at. I was looking at him. I was looking at other guys, within there. I was also looking at D-line. It's going to be a situation where he basically does both. He blocks, he receives. I mean, he could fill a spot. He's going to be so talented, and it's such a smart offense. They're going to utilize every little bit of him. And I think properly utilized, this guy's probably one of the best players coming out of the draft. I really like where I got him, and his ability to both block and be a passing threat, it's scary.
Yeah, and really quick, just to defend Will's pick, I agree. I think the pass protection is something that needs to be addressed in Cincinnati, but Darnell Washington being such a pass blocking tight end, he has that receiving upside, but his ability to block is extraordinary, and I think that it addresses that problem a little bit.
All right, let's move it on to the 29th overall pick. Freeman, you have the New Orleans Saints, who got that pick from the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, and this is such a weird spot. There's multiple guys that I'm looking at here, but I'm going to go with a guy who was graded extraordinarily high. The Big Ten continues to produce high-level linemen, so I'm going to take John Michael Schmitz out of Minnesota. I think he's the best center in this entire draft. He's one of the best interior linemen. I have him at number 2 in this entire draft. So I think to throw him in there, the Saints offensive line needs some major work. To have him as the centerpiece in there, I think is fantastic for the Saints.
Yeah, that was the easy pick. Jack, you want to say something?
That's the right pick. It's just keep it safe. You're at this 29 spot. You don't have to overreact. And the Saints are adding a lot this offseason and losing a lot. So just get a very reliable center who I think probably has like the highest floor out of any of these linemen in the whole draft. So great pick there.
Yeah, that was going to be the pick for me here at number 30 with the Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, Jason Kelce is one of the best centers in the league, but he's getting up there in age. So I was kind of hoping to have Jason be a little bit of a role model and then have Michael Schmitz come in and be that new starting center. That was a very, very safe pick right there for the Saints, and I respect that strategy. I haven't been very safe with my teams as the GM in this draft, and I'm going to keep that trend going right here with the 30th overall pick. I'm taking Bryan Bresee, the D lineman out of Clemson. Look, Philly and the Eagles do not need a home run pick. They aren't relying on a guy to absolutely go crazy. They don't need a guy to slot in right away. They need a guy who could be an absolute superstar later on in his career, and that is exactly what Bryan Bresee is to me. The top recruit of the 2020 class, 5-star, the whole 9 yards. He is incredibly explosive, a very, very versatile guy in the middle of the box on that D-line. There's some things wrong with him. Obviously, a bit of an injury history as well, had that torn ACL. But, yeah, I'm going with Bryan Bresee right here. I just love the potential that he has coming out of Clemson, and that's what I'm going with here with the 30th overall pick with the Eagles.
For every reason that you just said, I'm not going to restate it. I love it. I think it's a great pick, high upside. I love it.
All right. I finally got Freeman's approval now. Now I can leave the mock draft happy. Let's move it on to the final pick of the draft, the Kansas City Chiefs. I'll send it over to you, Jack, and Will also might be making our final trade of the draft. What's going on here, Will?
Got to do it.
It's going to have to be enticing because I'm locked in on a play right now.
This is my team, okay? I told you we come to win. You guys said they were winning Super Bowl last year. Fist bump to all you guys. You guys got it right, okay? But this year we're winning it. Jack, for the 31st pick in the draft, I would like to trade the 2nd and 4th round pick.
From the Colts, you're saying?
From the Jaguars.
Jaguars, okay.
I'll decline.
Oof.
All right, wait.
I don't know if I'm really open to trade. I just don't think the Chiefs need draft capital right now. I think we want to pick our guy.
Any players you want to throw out there, Will?
I'll give you a 2nd, a 6th, and Zay Jones.
We have enough wide receivers.
None of them are good though.
That doesn't need to happen in this offense. I'm going to take my player.
Okay.
I think this
That's
player,
choice.
even though he got clipped by Marvin Harrison, I think Keelan. No, I'm joking. I'm not taking Keelan Ringo.
Thank God.
Emmanuel Forbes, who was graded very high last season out of Mississippi State, is a very trustworthy cornerback. And I think Chiefs, who got burnt a lot in that Super Bowl with Jerry Steed, Trent McDuff, are at average at best cornerbacks. I think Emmanuel Forbes will do the job for the Chiefs.
I mean, the grades from, like you said, the grades from Forbes are incredible. And talking about DBs, there's not a lot much more you can go off of than these PFF grades. Yeah, he was just lights out. I mean, especially against good teams too. Texas A&M, Arkansas, some really highly graded games there for Forbes. So I love that pick for the Chiefs here. Freeman, you want to say anything before we end it off?
I just really quick as we wrap it up, I'm just curious as to where everyone had a couple guys that went undrafted in the first round. Me personally, I'm very low on Anton Harrison, but was anyone else surprised that he slid or not necessarily?
I'll hop in real quick. I'm not surprised at all. I think they're better tackles, better centers, better guards, and he just didn't he didn't fit in. That's just kind of how it is. But honestly, I just want to throw in real quick. The trade that I wanted to make was I wanted to move up and take Lucas Van Ness, who I think probably could have gone the first round. I think a ton of talent coming out of Iowa and would have been a hell of an edge rusher to throw in the Jaguars, a team that needs that sack percentage to move up, needs some, defensive power. I think he would have been great.
All right. I think that is going to do it then here for the first ever Joe's Knows the NFL Draft mock draft special episode. It was a bit of a long one, not exactly what we planned on, but I think we did a pretty good job of it. I think we had some fun. Like 6 or 7 different draft day trades. So everyone happy with all their teams and how they did?
Yeah, I think I won the draft. Like if you look back at it, you guys will be like, wow, yo, you are a wizard.
All right. Yep, all right. That's what we're all saying.
They're gonna be like, yo, Harry, you are a wizard.
All right, 2030, we'll come back to this episode and see who everyone picked, and we'll really do some grades there. But this won't be the last of us, though, here from Joe's Knows the NFL Draft. We will be doing an overview episode, maybe right after the first round, maybe after the whole draft, to talk about the entire thing, what we think of each pick, what we think of how each team did throughout the draft. So that should be fun. Be sure to look out for that in the next few days. But for us here today and this NFL mock draft, the last episode before the real deal happens on Thursday night, that is going to do it. So for Jack Kemmler, Matt Freeman, Will Kwiatkowski, myself, Ben Chadwick,